care what your religion is. We don't care what organization you belong to. We don't care how far in school you went or didn't go. We don't care what kind of job you have. We have to give you credit for shocking the white man by not letting him divide you and use you one against the other. In the past, the greatest weapon the white man has had has been his ability to divide and conquer. As Jackie Robinson pointed out beautifully on the television last night, 4/5 of the world isn't white. Isn't that what Jackie said? And if 4/5 of the world is dark, how is it possible for 1/5 to rule, oppress, exploit, dominate, and brutalize the 4/5 who are in the majority? How do they do it? Divide and conquer. If I take my hand and slap you, you don't even feel it. It might sting you because these digits are separated. But all I have to do to put you back in your place is bring those digits together. This is what the white man has done to you and me. He has divided us and used us one against the other. Since the so-called Negro community has shocked the white man by resisting all efforts to divide us, I think that you and I should continue to shock him by staying and working together in unity. Despite religious, political, economic, or educational or social differences, let us remember that we are not brutalized because we're Baptists. We're not brutalized because we're Methodists. We're not brutalized because we're Muslims. We're not brutalized because we're Catholics. We're brutalized because we are black people in America.
Well, I mean, what I wanted to ask you was, a lot of people were surprised that you didn't take stronger action against him. And what I wanted to ask is, what kind of a line would one have to cross for you to censure them?
You all are something. You don't take no strong action against the evil of your people. Not words that they say, but the things that they do. Oh, you should be ashamed to say something like that to me. Look at all the lynchers and murderers of black people that get away with it. You don't cry out for them to get their justice. Here's a man speaking words. He hasn't done anything but speak words. What does he have to do to cross the line? He's my brother. He's my brother. You all seem to like to see. I wish you would get to Israel. Okay, good.
We're on our way.
Because to me, there's something that you all do that I want to call to your attention.
We all Jews?
White people.
White people.
Your modus operandi is divide and conquer. And you have done that very, very well. You would love to see Brother Farrakhan hurt his brother, but you won't hurt yours. You don't do nothing against your own crazed members of the Jewish community that do all kinds of evil. I didn't hear you stopping them. Here were Jews out there in New York City when I went saying, "Who do you want? Farrakhan. How do you want him? Dead." I didn't hear none of you saying you shouldn't call for the death of Farrakhan. But you want me to stop Khalid. Khalid is a free man. And he can say whatever he pleases to say. I just was trying to help him to become a statesman. I would hope that for him. You know? You really something. You want to set us to fighting each other for whose benefit? If I have a problem with Brother Khalid, he is my brother. We can sit in the room and sit and talk about it. He will not disallow a dialogue. You're not getting on your own people. Say, why don't you sit down and talk with Farrakhan? Why don't you dialogue with him? I don't hear the good Jews crying out against Abe Foxman. He was spying on Martin Luther King, spying on others. I don't hear you crying out against his evil, but you want me to condemn Brother Khalid, and you love to hear me say something negative about him, but you keep your pen silent about your own people. I hate that. I hate that.
Jewish groups have condemned, for instance, Mayor Kahane.
Yeah, that's so easy for you to do, but you won't go any higher. You won't go any higher. You condemn Maya Kahane in one breath and then vote him in Israel to a very substantial post as a representative of government.
City government is not responsive to the needs of black people. State government is not responsive to the needs of black people. The federal government is not responsive to the needs of black people. But we can't sit around and wait for city government, state government, and federal government to respond to our needs. We are going to have to get up and do something to help ourselves. I want to talk tonight to the subject of stop the killing. We as a people suffer from gross ignorance. The Bible says the people walked in darkness, gross darkness, the people. But the people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. Upon them hath the light shined. A people steeped in ignorance are a people that can become their own worst enemies. Not because we desire to have our foot in the way of our own progress, but our ignorance is a field in which our enemies can work to manipulate our ignorance. It is the hidden hand. We see our hands doing the dirty work, but there is a hidden hand that is manipulating our hands. And it is this hidden hand that we have to stop and cut off and then redirect our energies that we may stop the killing. The Bible says, Paul speaking, we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and the rulers of the darkness of this world and spiritual wickedness in high places. We are not up in those high places. We are not the principalities nor the powers. We are not the rulers of the darkness of this world, but that is the hidden hand. From federal government to state government to local government, the hidden hand is manipulating our ignorance.
Yeah. Custom made.
Talk back to me, talk back to me. If you're proud being black, talk back to me.